This just in, President Lyndon B. Johnson has officially signed the Civil Rights Act, effectively placing it into the law. The act aims to outlaw public discrimination and segregation, as well as nominate Leroy Collins as Director of Community Relations Service. I'm joined by my colleague here today, reporter Matthew Dye. Matthew, how did the President's conference go, and what can you tell us about the significance of the act? Yeah, thank you so much. President Johnson announced the act today that started with him referencing our founding fathers and their ideals of freedom, personal liberty, and justice. He then describes that while our country claims that all men are created equal, African Americans are, quote, deprived of these blessings due to their skin color. In this way, President Johnson frames the signing not as a political action or a product of radicalism, but as a continuation of America's foundational ideals which our country's ancestors would have intended. The act is depicted as patriotic, tying civil rights and equality among races to the identity of our country and its values. To say the act is significant would be an understatement. This country has been inhabited for centuries by segregation and oppression due to race. Now, in day to day life, you may see whites only signs taken down and public schools hosting whites and blacks in the same classroom. Public accommodation, such as water fountains and restrooms, will no longer be separated by race. African Americans may no longer be refused service on the premise of race, and finding employment and federal assistance for them will be easier. The act itself may not necessarily bring an end to this history of oppression, as the question of economic inequality and social prejudice remain. Tensions are still high, and there's sure to be opposition in the form of intimidation and violence. However, this act is a massive leap towards a nation who favors individual liberty and personal growth through equality in opportunity, as opposed to one that separates and champions a certain group over others.